Week 5, day 1, Joshua tells us about this crazy plan God has to let out this massive shout, which they do, and the walls come tumbling down. Shouting is something we're actually quite familiar with, particularly if you're a sports fan. I can remember years ago having to go late to an NFL, American football game, and I'd be all worried about, am I missing out on anything? But what I quickly started realizing is, as I would be parking and entering into this massive stadium on the way in, I could tell what's going on simply by the shouts of the people. If we had scored or something good had happened, man, it was thunderous. The shout was deafening. 60, 70,000 people shouting together. So I kind of knew, okay, something good just happened there. That's the way it is, isn't it? It is normal to shout in the midst of victory. When we grasp victory at anything, there's this moment where we want to shout out about it, whether it's a political victory or a sports victory or a personal victory. But we usually do it after the victory. That's when we go, okay, now keep it in, keep it in, keep it in. But once we seal the win, now it's time for us all to shout. But here in Joshua chapter 6, God says, I want you to shout before the victory, before the walls fall. Can you imagine what that must have been like? Looks like about 2 to 3 million people are entering into the promised land. Can you imagine to hear the collective shout of 2 million people?